Welcome to Movies Philosophy Channel. In this episode, we explore Braveheart, 1995, directed by and starring Mel Gibson as the legendary Scottish warrior William Wallace. This historical epic tells the story of Wallace's fight for Scotland's independence from English rule during the late 13th century. Filled with powerful themes of freedom, sacrifice, and loyalty, Braveheart remains one of the most beloved and inspirational historical films. Let's dive into the key moments, emotional depth, and philosophical themes that make this film an unforgettable classic. Introduction: The oppression of Scotland. Braveheart begins with a narration explaining Scotland's dire situation under English rule in the late 13th century. The English king, Edward I, known as Longshanks, played by Patrick McGoohan, has extended his reign over Scotland through tyranny, exploitation, and brutal force. The film introduces a young William Wallace, whose father and brother are killed fighting against the English. Left orphaned, Wallace is taken in by his uncle and raised away from Scotland. The film picks up years later with an adult Wallace returning to his homeland, hoping to live a quiet life of peace. However, his dreams of a peaceful existence are shattered when the English nobility reintroduces the practice of prima nocta, allowing English lords to take Scottish women on their wedding nights. This abuse of power incites deep anger among the Scots and sets the stage for rebellion. The tragic death of Murron and the spark of rebellion. Wallace falls in love with Murron MacLano, played by Catherine McCormack, and the two are secretly married to avoid the threat of prima nocta. However, after Murron defends herself against an English soldier's assault, she is captured and publicly executed by the English magistrate. Wallace's devastation over Murron's death ignites his desire for revenge. In a furious act of rebellion, Wallace leads a surprise attack on the English garrison in his village, killing the soldiers responsible for Murron's death. This event marks the beginning of Wallace's uprising against English rule. His defiance and courage inspire other Scottish clans to join him in the fight for freedom, as Wallace becomes the symbol of Scottish resistance. The Battle of Stirling Bridge, Wallace's rise as a leader. Wallace's rebellion soon gathers momentum, and he leads his forces to a significant victory in the Battle of Stirling Bridge. Despite being outnumbered, Wallace's strategic brilliance and unorthodox tactics allow the Scots to defeat the heavily armored English cavalry. The battle is one of the most iconic sequences in the film, showcasing Wallace's leadership and the Scots' fierce determination to win their freedom. In this moment, Wallace delivers one of the film's most famous lines as he rallies his troops. "They may take our lives, but they'll never take our freedom." This speech encapsulates the central theme of the film: freedom is a cause worth fighting and dying for. Wallace's victory at Stirling makes him a national hero and the de facto leader of the Scottish resistance. Wallace's quest for freedom and betrayal by the Scottish nobles. As Wallace's rebellion gains traction, he seeks to unite the fragmented Scottish clans against their common enemy. However, he faces significant opposition from Scotland's nobility, particularly Robert the Bruce, played by Angus MacFadyen, the son of the Scottish noble who desires the throne of Scotland. While Robert sympathizes with Wallace's cause, he is conflicted between his loyalty to his father and his desire to free Scotland. Wallace's vision for Scotland's independence is grounded in idealism, but the Scottish nobles are more concerned with securing their own power and wealth. This internal conflict among the Scots ultimately leads to Wallace's betrayal. During the Battle of Falkirk, Wallace is abandoned by the Scottish nobility, who have secretly allied with Longshanks, resulting in a devastating defeat for the Scottish forces. Wallace's relationship with Princess Isabella. Another key subplot in the film is Wallace's relationship with Princess Isabella of France, played by Sophie Marceau, who is married to Longshanks' son, Prince Edward. Isabella admires Wallace's bravery and idealism and becomes sympathetic to his cause. The two share a brief romantic relationship, further complicating the political dynamics between England and Scotland. While the historical accuracy of this relationship is debated, in the context of the film, it serves as a contrast to the brutality of Longshanks. Isabella's growing affection for Wallace symbolizes the appeal of Wallace's fight for freedom, even among members of the English court. Wallace's capture, torture, and execution Despite his growing influence and legendary status, Wallace's rebellion faces increasing challenges. He continues to fight for Scotland's freedom, but betrayal from within his own ranks ultimately leads to his capture by the English. Wallace is handed over to Longshanks' forces, and he is taken to London to stand trial for treason. In the film's climactic and emotional final scenes, Wallace is publicly tortured and executed in a brutal display meant to serve as a warning to other rebels. Refusing to submit or beg for mercy, Wallace endures unimaginable pain without renouncing his cause. As he faces death, Wallace uses his last breath to shout one final powerful word: freedom. Wallace's martyrdom solidifies his place as a symbol of Scottish independence, and his death serves as the catalyst for future uprisings. In the film's epilogue, Robert the Bruce, inspired by Wallace's sacrifice, leads the Scots to victory at the Battle of Bannockburn, securing Scotland's independence from English rule. Themes: freedom, sacrifice, and leadership. Braveheart is a film deeply rooted in the themes of freedom and sacrifice. Wallace's unwavering commitment to the cause of independence, even in the face of overwhelming odds, is a powerful testament to the human spirit's desire for liberty. The film argues that freedom is worth fighting for, even if it means paying the ultimate price. The theme of leadership is also central to the film. Wallace's ability to inspire his fellow Scots and unite them under a common cause is what sets him apart as a leader. His vision for a free Scotland is grounded not in personal ambition, but in the belief that every man deserves the right to live freely. In contrast, the Scottish noble's betrayal of Wallace underscores the corrupting influence of power and the personal sacrifices that true leaders must make. Historical accuracy versus mythology. While Braveheart is a highly entertaining and emotionally stirring film, it is important to note that it takes significant liberties with historical facts. The film's portrayal of Wallace's life, the timeline of events, and the relationships between characters, including the romantic subplot with Princess Isabella, are largely fictionalized for dramatic effect. Nevertheless, the film's historical inaccuracies do not detract from its impact as a powerful piece of storytelling. Braveheart captures the essence of Wallace's legacy and the broader struggle for freedom, even if the specifics are not entirely accurate. The film uses history as a backdrop for exploring timeless themes of resistance, heroism, and the human desire for self-determination. Closing thought: Braveheart, 1995, is more than just an epic historical drama. It is a stirring exploration of the fight for freedom and the sacrifices that come with it. Through the lens of William Wallace's journey, the film delivers a powerful message about leadership, courage, and the indomitable human spirit. While its portrayal of history may be romanticized, Braveheart continues to resonate with audiences as a story of resistance against tyranny and the universal longing for liberty. Wallace's final cry of freedom serves as a reminder that the pursuit of justice and autonomy is a cause worth fighting for, no matter the cost.